Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. We are back for the season finale of Love During Lockup, Season 3, Episode 68, The Boy Is Mine. And I just want to start this review off by saying, I'm Hottie's girl. I'm sorry. That shit blows me and tickles me all at the same time when they start off the episode and Ty's portion comes on. Speaking of Ty, let's just get into her and Boston. They pick up where they left off last week, and these fools met up at this restaurant outside joint, and Ty ends up asking Boston how long they been together, and Boston like, we've been together for like 12 years, and she like, how long y'all been together? She like, we've been together since November. And Boston just like, I just find it funny how y'all been there since November. In the midst of her saying that, no, that's not what happened. So then she ends up calling Ty a dodo bird. She like, you the dodo bird that sticks around for 30 years. And I'm just like, you a dodo bird too, messing with a nigga in jail. They can't do nothing for you. So both of y'all stupid. So then Ty gets mad that Boston got on the sweatshirt that apparently she's been asking Hottie for the longest. And she just started wailing on Boston ass. She hops over the table. Boston ain't ready. She can't get her legs from underneath the table. I'm just like, what? What's happening? Boston runs off. She's not even trying to fight Ty. And then Ty's friend ended up running up and trying to fight Ty. But by this time, security has jumped in and got all up in the mix. So after that, Ty gonna say Hottie promised me a life that I always wanted, a happy life, and Boston ruined it. I said, Boston ruined it? How he promised you a happy life? What could he do for you? And you were sending him money. How was he gonna give you a happy life? I want to know. I want to know. So after that, Boston like, I don't want to see Ty no more. Like, the bitch crazy. We don't need to talk after this. And I'm just like, yeah, y'all don't, because you just keep letting this lady go across your shit. And at this point, if you not gonna attempt to fight back, but you keep wanting to link with the lady, just let it go. Ain't neither one of y'all finna stop talking to him, it seemed like. Y'all keep fighting over him. So Haley ends up meeting up with her stud friend, Emily. If you don't know what a stud is, it's a lesbian that is masculine presenting. Oh no. My computer's gonna die. So this is the friend that Dalton got mad at Haley for hanging out with that night that she ended up going out with her to have drinks. And she shows up and they go on a gondola ride. Emily takes Haley on a gondola ride. And I'm just like, this looks like a date. And it absolutely was a date. Haley said she was nervous the last time that she kicked it with Emily, and I'm just like, you was nervous because you liked her and you knew that you was out doing something you ain't had no business doing. That's why Dalton was upset, because come to find out, Haley said she used to mess around with girls, and I'm like, I knew you was an old lesbian. When I saw her, my gaydar went off. For those of you that are new to watching me, I am bisexual, so I understand. My vibe, my gaydar is very strong. I usually get a vibe that somebody likes the same sex, usually women. I don't know if my gaydar is that good with men, but definitely with women. So, where am I at? So as they on this gondola ride, Emily ends up confessing her love for Haley. She's talking about she in love with Haley. I'm like, how you in love with Haley? Boy, be moving fast for no damn reason. How you in love and you probably ain't even known this girl for that long? Unless they've been working together for a long time. I don't think they ever disclosed how long they've been working together. But she in love with her. And they end up kissing. It was an awkward ass kiss. It was weird. I didn't like it. They could have kept that. They did all that for Haley to end the scene, still talking about she don't know where she is with Dalton. So we flip to Santiba, and Santiba is sitting on the dock of the bay, and she says she hope a rich man in one of these boats ride by and be like, "Hey, babe, come here, let me change your life." And I'm just like, the likelihood of that happening is real slim to none. So she talking about she's really, don't understand what happened between her and Talsey, and she trying to go back in the text messages and the conversations to see where it went wrong. And it's just like, it was never right. What do you mean, where did it go wrong? He never gave a fuck. What is, you don't know that? The fact that she don't understand that is just, it's crazy to me how delusional that they be on this show. Because how do you not know that this was a charade the entire time? There's nothing to be confused about. So he ended up calling her like shit was sweet. And she like, yeah, like, what's up? Why are you calling me? And he like, oh, I just wanted to, see what's going on with you and, see if we can get some closure about this situation. And then she like, closure? Like, okay, so what's up then? What happened? And he like, well, the reason I stopped talking to you, girl, he gave her some bullshit ass excuse talking about, I saw comments of a guy saying that he was coming to your house. And I'm like, Talsey, it's the lack of respect for me. Like, you don't even respect me enough to come up with a better excuse as to why you playing with me in my face like this. Like, you not even trying. You just saying anything that come off the top of the dome. Because that don't even make no sense. You pick the smallest thing as somebody commenting on some shit as the reason why you just ghosted her. Like, come on now. He full of shit. So he's gaslighting her. And she end up getting pissed off and calling him a sleazeball. And as soon as she called him a sleazeball, do you know this man got in his feelings and he was like, oh, I'm a sleazeball. You know what? Matter of fact, the reason I really stopped talking to your ass was because I realized I can do better than you. And I said, oh, really? A nigga in jail can do better than Santiba. Okay. So Santiba's like, why? So why are you calling me? Like, what did you call for? Because this is not closure. And so it blew me that he calls her, and then once she treats his ass, he get an attitude that he got treated. But it's just like, when you call, you was talking to me nice, And now that I treated you, now you want to get in your feelings and you want to talk to me bad. Well, get the fuck out of here. So she ended up telling him to fuck off. And she calls him an inconsiderate fuck and she hangs up on him. And then she ends up crying. And they end the scene with that. Like, damn, Santiva. You stop letting this man play you. Like, please block him after this. So Indy talks to her psychic virtually. And she tells her psychic about the trip that they went on. And she said the trip was a complete and total shit show. So the psychic ends up giving her a reading. And she basically ends up telling Indy that she sees a future with them. She sees them having a future. She sees them getting married. And she also knows that Harry needs physical touch. And she ends up telling her that he been cheating on her. I want Indy to get her shit together. I want that psychic to get her shit together. Like, the psychic ended up telling her, if you want to be with Harry, then let him do what he want to do. And basically continue to let him cheat in peace. If you gonna still be with him, there ain't no sense in arguing and all that shit if you gonna continue to take the man back. So after she tells Indy that information, Indy in her confessional talking about she feel like she in a dimly lit tunnel and she's losing all hope. And I'm just like, girl, your brain is giving dimly lit tunnel with the way you act. Then she in the car on her way home after speaking to her psychic, and she said she considered polygamy before she met Harry because she kept getting cheated on. So she figured that would be better than getting cheated on. It's just to bring another girl into the situation and that will solve all your problems. And I'm just like, that's not how that works. I want to know who failed Indy. Because that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense how you that damn delusional. And that's how your mind set up to where you think that polygamy is the answer because you can't stop getting cheated on. How about stop being with people that's gonna cheat on you? It's just a thought. Max and Tara. Tara goes to him again. After she talked to him the last time, she ain't talked to him again. So he says he's over that situation. He's been getting back buddy with Alyssa. I said, oh, so now since Tara don't want you, you want to get back in Alyssa's good graces. And I'm just like, you goofy as hell, Alyssa, if you allow that man to come back into your house, into your bed, and in between your legs, after he just pushed you off to the side for an inmate that been playing him to the left since she been in prison. Inside of prison and outside of prison, she been playing him to the left. So, he's still talking to other inmates. He gets on a FaceTime call with an inmate, and they talking about just goofy shit that he talked to these inmates about usually. The same conversations that he been talking to everybody else about since he been on this show. And the girl act like she like, oh, I have to go and fix something, and she get up and she shake her ass on the camera. And after she do that, she sit back down and he asks her when she get out. This bitch get out in 2032. And she had already been in there for 5 years. I didn't do the math. But he and I both concluded, bitch, you really did some shit to have already been in there 5 years, and then you still don't get out to 2032. Child. 10 years. It's 2022. Uh, so he says he gotta be careful messing around with her. And then they flip to his confessional. And then he's saying, you know what? It seemed like she's really genuinely after my time and affection, and she doesn't want any money from me. So if she's willing to put in the effort, then I'm willing to put in the effort too. And I'm just like, didn't your goofy ass just say that you probably need to watch out for her? And then in the same breath, you talking about you willing to give her a chance. She don't get out until 2032. I'm not gonna deal with his goofy, because he big and goofy as hell, and he really gets on my nerves. So Haley went through all of that with Emily just to say that it was overwhelming and she's just going to continue to be friends with her because she still want to mess around with Dalton ass. She has a video date with Dalton at 8 o'clock. And she said she ends up taking him back because he was writing her letters begging her to come back. And the shit that he was writing in these letters is just, like I said, roses are red, violets are blue type shit. Stuff that don't make no sense. Stuff that they think sounds romantic, but it's not. Like, they showed this little clip where she was sitting in the bed and this bitch got on, not only is her hair black and white, but she had on black and white socks. I said, girl, it ain't that deep. You are not Cruella de Vil. Like, I think that she thinks it's giving damn, what's her name? I love her. I can't think of her name. Her name is escaping me. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. She thinks she's giving that in Cruella, and it's not giving that. It's not giving that at all. The shit that he say is not genuine. Like, he immediately get on the phone with her, just like, hey, I said I love you, and I miss you, and it's just like, it annoys me because I just can think back to an ex that kind of reminds me, like, he was an abuser, and that's how they talk. Like, it's real, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's real 6th grade level, I love you type, just, I don't really know how to explain it. But that's what it reminds me of. It feels disingenuous. He gives abuser tease. And I want Haley to get out this situation. But she's so damn gullible and naive. She's flattered because this man done sent her a picture of a drawing of her and Hendrix. And I'm thinking he drew it. Child, somebody else drew it. So you all, your heart melting for some shit that he didn't even do. He asked somebody, he gave somebody a picture. He gave somebody some Twinkies and some of his commissary and shit. And that's there you go. A picture of you and Hendrix. Like that, I'm sorry. The shit that she finds special is like really beyond me. So then they talk about him getting out of jail, and this fool has the nerve to ask her, so what are your plans for me when I get out? I say, what your plans are for me? Nigga, what is your plans for me when you get out of jail? You the one that ain't got shit to offer. What are your plans when you get out? Are you planning on getting a job? No, probably not. You're going to go back to your mama house, or you're going to go try to lay up with some bitch that's going to take care of you, which is looking like it's going to be Haley. Oh my God. This bitch talking about she's going to take her birth control out so they can start having babies. And I'm just like, y'all just be on here just doing shit. Like, no plan. 2 sheets to the wind. Just, yeah, whatever the fuck. Absolutely, I'll open up my womb to this nigga that just gave $500 to his ex-bitch and then wrote me these mediocre ass letters, and I really think it means something, but this nigga ain't got shit better else to do. He ain't got nothing but time. Nothing but time. That ain't sweet. Write me a 5-page letter after you work a 12-hour shift and come home. That's heartfelt to me. But Nigga, you ain't got nothing but time in a jail cell. The least you could do is write a letter until your damn hand cramp up. This is ridiculous. Gabby in Essence. Oh, not only that, I'm sorry. She ends up apologizing to him for cursing him out last week over him giving $500 to his ex. I'm just like, he gonna do you so dirty when he get out. I promise you, because you goofy and you showing him that you goofy and gullible, and he is gonna use that until the fullest extent. Gabby in Essence go pick up Chris. This disrespectful wench thinks she's entitled to some information. Like, you ain't nobody's wife. His mama couldn't even get no information about what's going on with him. So why do you think that you get to get some information? I don't know who spoiled this little bitch, but they can get her out of here. Because I'm sick of Gabby. Like, every time I see her on my screen, I get annoyed. The U.S. Marshal come up to the car. No, the mom called and she said that the U.S. Marshal came and got him, and he got to do fed time. So Gabby is pissed off and she don't want to film no more. And I said, you better rethink that, because they probably gonna hold a little bit of your check, because you are contractually obligated to still film. So stop playing with them people. Edie go to her sister house, Londa. She ended up telling her sister that the psychic told her that Harry cheated. Sis like, well, you want to pull up? I'm like, to Ohio? So, Indy said she was able to go to the iCloud, and she found pictures of different females Harry been talking to. He been getting pictures sent to him of different women, and they naked. And this is on the phone that she bought and drove to Ohio to take him. I'm just like, Then she ends up saying, so these bitches don't see my tattoo on him. And I'm just like, girl, me and the sister was on the same shit, because the sister was like, bitches don't give a fuck about no tattoo, and they don't. Why do you think that? Niggas have 12 different bitches tattooed on them and be talking to a 13th. Like, females don't care about that. What you thought? Indy is delusional. I want to know which one of y'all dropped Indy on her head when she was a baby. Because it seemed like she the only one that ain't got good sense. And then as soon as I typed that shit in my notes, then they flipped to Londa's confessional. And Londa is saying, Indy is too good for Harry because she's too mature and she knows what she wants. And I'm like, okay, so it's not just Indy, it's all of y'all. All of y'all ain't really here with us as far as the common sense department. So sis said you should confront him. She ends up calling his phone. This man at the halfway house getting lit. He's smoking, drinking, barely really listening to what she's saying. She asking him, instead of asking him straight up, like telling him that I seen the pictures of women on your phone, she like, are you cheating on me? And he like, no, I ain't cheating on you. He steady denying it. My thing is, if he able to do all of that in the halfway house, then he definitely has been able to go outside and hit. He's definitely been able to leave and sleep with somebody and then come back to the halfway house. They might be able to they might got a system going on where they could get women into the halfway house to sleep with them. So Indy get mad that he's not really paying attention, and Harry is getting out of the halfway house soon. So he say that Aniris is lying about the whole situation, and you need to not believe her, and you might not want to bet on me, because that's the biggest mistake you'll ever make in your life. And I'm like, okay. These niggas will say anything. Like, literally anything. He ends up getting off the phone with her because now he got an attitude with her because she confronted him about his bullshit. So Ty gets a call from Hottie, and she says she found out about all the lies that he'd been telling her. And her logic behind all of that is she tells Hottie Boston is not finna come and get her ass whooped twice by somebody and she not really fucking with you. Like, that don't even make sense. I don't even understand why she would risk her life like that. And I'm just like, that fake makes sense. Like, a bitch ain't finna go through all that if she not fucking with you unless she really crazy. And I don't believe the bitch is just crazy. I think that they really been fucking around this entire time. So she tell Hottie that she ain't fucking with him no more. He's steady trying to beg her, and she ends up hanging up on him. And she tell the friend, I wouldn't have believed anything she said until I saw her with that hoodie on, because I've been trying to get that hoodie for months. And the friend was like, why you know she ain't just get it online? She's like, because I've been trying to get that hoodie for a long time and it's not available online. The only way you can get that hoodie is through his man's, because his man's got the hoodies. So I'm just like, that's valid. I know about the hood clothing hookup. Like, hey, let me get one of them, child. So after they talk about that, they pull up to another prison, and that's when she say the infamous line, "Come look at these big ass titties." And then she gets out of the car, lifts her shirt up, and jumps up and down in the middle of the street, in front of a jail. And to me, I don't know if I was just hearing shit, but it sounded like you can hear the men cheering from the inside from seeing those tig old bitties on a gloomy afternoon. So in closing, Indy is going to pick up Harry, and they say that Yolanda, Mama Bounty Hunter, is going to be interrogating these cheating allegations. Max and Alyssa are back together. They back sleeping in the same bed, and he's still talking to multiple inmates, but Alyssa doesn't know he's talking to multiple inmates. And I'm like, you're just a lame piece of shit. Haley and Hendrix moved into their new house, and they're hoping Dalton will be joining them by Valentine's Day. Santiba met a new guy that's serving 10 years for a drug charge. And Ty blocked Hottie, and she's now giving all her attention to BB, Jose, Anthony, and Carrington. I said, not Carrington, bitch. I want to know what Carrington look like. And then they say Gabby is planning her wedding, and she plans on going alone to go pick him up from the feds in March. And I'm just like, I guess that was the season finale. Apparently the only people that made it onto actual love after Lockup is Harry and Indy. So I'm assuming that none of these people are messing around anymore, or apparently WeTV didn't think that they were interested enough to make the cut. But I will be reviewing Love After Lockup. It probably come on in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure, but I'll be back. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Holla.